Sarah and Abraham had been married for many years without having given birth to a child. God promised to bless Abraham. God said to him, "Abraham, I will give you a son, and you will be the father of many nations." But Sarah, his wife, was very impatient. A part of her felt she was getting old and could no longer wait for the fulfillment of God's promises. She may have wondered if God had forgotten his promise to bless them with a child. It was difficult for her to rely on God's promises to wait. She thought God had forgotten them, so she devised a plan to figure things out for herself. Sarah, unable to bear children, gave Hagar to Abraham to conceive an heir. Hagar was a maid who bought in Egypt, and whose job it was to serve Sarah. Hagar, Sarah's maidservant, later became Abraham's concubine and mother of his son Ishmael. When Hagar became pregnant, the news did not sit well with Sarah. Hagar's pregnancy did not fill the void in Sarah's heart. She still felt a sense of longing and disappointment. She realized that trying to manipulate the situation had taken her away from trusting God's timing and plan. Sarah was envious of Hagar and treated her so harshly that Hagar fled into the wilderness. "God, where are you?" Hagar cried as she sat by a spring of water. Hagar was encountered by an angel of the Lord. The angel reassured her and told her to return home, promising that she would have many descendants through her son Ishmael. The promise God made to Abraham and his wife Sarah was fulfilled later on. About 14 years after the birth of Ishmael, Sarah gave birth to Isaac, the son whom God had promised to make a covenant with. One day, Sarah saw Ishmael and Isaac playing together, and she feared Ishmael would also become an heir. Sarah, driven by jealousy, sent Ishmael and his mother away. In the desert, God sustained Ishmael and his mother. God was with them until Ishmael grew up. After Sarah's death, Abraham brought Hagar back and she bore him more children. This story teaches us the importance of relying on God's promises and waiting patiently for his fulfillment. Despite the challenges, God fulfilled his promise and granted Sarah a son named Isaac. This proves that God never forgets his promises and that it's always worth the wait. Are there any promises God has made concerning the difficult situation you are experiencing right now? Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Psalm 27:14.